Welcome to another episode of Book Covers DIY. Today I'm going to show you how to design a cover for a contemporary women's fiction book. This can be a book about sisters, friendship, or even a coming-of-age story for young women. Right, so here we are on Canva.com. This is that free design website we use for all of our book cover designs. Once you register and log in, you'll be taken to a homepage that looks similar to this. We're going to be working on an ebook today, so it's going to be just the front cover. But if you are in need of a paperback print book cover, you can still watch today's tutorial, and then there'll be a link in the description box below that'll take you to my tutorial for paperback print book covers. In that video, I'll show you how to calculate the dimensions for your book and extend your design on the back cover and the spine. So be sure and check that out after this video. Right, so for today's book cover, you can just come up to the search bar and just type in book cover. It's going to take you over to the book cover templates page, where currently there are over 4,000 cover design templates. So you are welcome to scroll through here and find any that you like and customize them for your book cover. But today we are going to be making one from scratch. So I'm going to come up to the top and click on create a blank book cover. It's going to take us over to our design area. Here on the right, we have our canvas, and here on the left, we have our toolbar and everything in our toolbox. So the first thing I want to do is define a photo or a graphic that's going to kind of set the tone for our entire book cover. So I'm going to come over here to our toolbar, and I'm going to click on Elements. And let's say our book is about friendship, some friends that have grown up together. So I'm going to type friends in the search box, and then we are going to get some options for graphics, photos, videos, etc. Today I think I'm going to go with a graphic. So right here it says graphic, and to the right it says see all. I'm going to click on that, and now we have a bunch of different designs featuring friends. Now you will see that some of them have crowns like these right here, and when you hover over them it says Pro. That means these are elements included with Canva Pro. If you're using the free version and you would like to filter these out, just come up here to the search box, and over on the right you'll see these little dials. Click in there, and now you will have some filters. You can come down to price, and you can click on free, and then just click off to the side, and now you can see that it has filtered out everything that had a crown or said Pro. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of look through here and get some ideas. Here's a couple of girls here. Okay, let me see this one here. Okay, I kind of like this one. It's got 4 girls there. They're all dressed pretty similar. All right, so I think I'm going to go with this one right here. And you will notice that this was one of the free images. It does not have a crown in the corner. So I'm going to make this larger, and to do that, I'm just going to grab any one of these corners here. See how the dot turns purple? And I'm going to stretch it out, probably that size for right now. And then I'm going to click off to the side. Okay, now I want to select a color for the background. To do that, I'm going to make sure that I have clicked on the background. See here, this is when I've not clicked on it. Click on it and you'll see this purple box appears, and also you'll get a rainbow box right here in the upper left corner. It says background color. If you click in there, you are going to get all of your color palettes. There are default colors, gradients, and you can also select your own color by coming up to the top, and you'll see a rainbow box with a plus sign in it. Add a new color. You can click in there, and then you can use the slider to slide along. For instance, let me put it in the green, and then right now there's still no color because it's in the upper corner, which is just basically white. But you'll see as I drag this little slider along the different shades of green, you can see that the color is changing over here on our canvas. So that is a bright, bold green. I don't want to go with that. I can come over here. Maybe I'm thinking we've got reds, maybe something in the yellow. Move our slider along. I think something in the bright yellow. That really helps this red and pink to pop. Okay, so once you have chosen your background color, you can click off to the side. All right, so it's already coming together. It's already starting to look like a professional book cover, but we need to add a title. So let's come back over to our toolbox, and we're going to click on text. Now there are some pre-made texts down here. As you can see, you can choose one of those if you like. Some of them have the crown as well, but there are quite a few that are free. As you can see, there are no crowns on any of these. I'm going to come back up to the top and just click on add a heading. We are going to design our own. Okay, so let me drag this up above the 4 friends. Okay, I kind of always have to come up with the story in my head to know what kind of title I'm going to choose. Of course, with your design, you will already have, your plot and everything. So it's a lot easier to come up with the title. Or sometimes you already know the title. So I kind of make up the story in my head in order for me to select a title. So let's say this story is about 4 sisters and their parents own a flower shop. So they're known as like the, Flower Sisters, the Flower Girls. So let's call it that. So for this title, I want to, I'm not sure if it's going to be the Flower Sisters or Flower Girls. We'll see when we're designing. So I want this word to be flower. This is going to be, the main word. We are going to choose a different font for the and for, girls or sisters. So for right now, I'm just going to work on the main word, which is flower. So here you can see I've just typed in flower in all caps. Now we need to choose a font because Canva defaults to this one here called Canva Sans. If we click on this down arrow, we're going to get all of our font choices. So now we need to go through here and find a font that complements our design and our story. For instance, you don't want to choose something like, let's say this one here. I just clicked on it and now the word flower changed to that. This here would be something for like maybe a sci-fi book or something like that. It does not complement our story or our design. So you want to make sure that the font you choose complements your design and your story. Okay, so let's kind of just go through here and try to find a font we like. Okay, that's a nice big bold font. I kind of like that one. It's called Sunborn. See that's a little bit difficult to read. I wouldn't choose something like that. Okay, here's another mistake I see a lot of people do is when they choose a font, for instance, this Bad Horse Script, it's a cursive font, and then they will leave the letters in all caps. This is really hard to read and it just looks very unprofessional. Don't ever choose a font like this and leave them all caps. If you really, really wanted to use this font, then you would definitely want to, see it's still hard to read, but you would definitely want to make all the other letters lowercase. But I suggest steering clear from a font like that. All right, let's keep looking. Okay, I really like this one here. It's called Gulf's Display. See, it's right up here, Gulf's Display. It's really big and bold and kind of fun. There's one thing I noticed that the words are a jet black, but if you notice the girl's hair and jeans, it's almost like a bluish black. Let me zoom in here. You can use a slider to zoom in on your design. See, this jet black and their hair is kind of a blue black. I want it to be all cohesive. So I'm going to, while I've already clicked on flower, if you've clicked off of it, you can just click back on it. We're going to come up here to this A with a rainbow bar beneath it. That is the text color. If you click in there, you can go to your default colors again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this add a new color. And then here on the lower right of that box, it says pick a color from the design. We're going to take this eyedropper tool. And as you can see, there's a circle, whenever color you place it over, it will change that. For instance, I'm going to click on the red, and now the words turned red. I'm going to click on it again, and this time I'm going to hover over their hair, which is that, again, it's like a kind of a bluish black. So once I click on that, now the words match exactly. Look, see, let me zoom in again so you can see that. Remember, they were jet black, but now look. They blend perfectly with the hair, and that's what I want. I want even the words to be cohesive. Okay, so now we have flower. To center it, you can either move it back and forth until you see that center solid line. I think I might actually make it slightly bigger. I want to make it the same size of that box that appears. Again, you can either move it back and forth until it's centered. Another thing you can do is, let me move it off to the side. You can come up here to position, And you'll see that now it says arrange. If you go to the middle section, it says center. And once I click on center, you'll watch this jump to the center. And now it is centered. Okay, so now let's go back to our toolbox. We want to click on text again. And last time we chose add a heading. This time we're going to choose add a subheading, and we're going to get a smaller size font. I'm going to just type in there actually I want to do lowercase the, and I'm going to click off to the side, and then I'm going to bring it up here. If you notice, it defaults to a center alignment. See, the is in the center. I actually want to change it because I want it to be left aligned. So I'm going to click up here on alignment, and you can see it jump to the left. You can always have it justified, or you can have it aligned to the right, but I'm going to leave it on left, and I actually don't need it this long because the word is so small. So I'm going to click on that and drag it in. Or actually give it a little bit of room because we don't know what font we're going to choose yet. Okay, please do not leave it this plain Canva Sans. It's very boring. So we want to choose another font for this. So let's click in the box and come up to Canva Sans. We're going to click in there, and now we're back to our font choices. So now I want to find a completely different style font. Maybe something cursive or more just kind of casual looking. Okay, I like this one. It's called, I guess, Gochi Hand. It has a sort of a handwritten look to it. And I want to make it larger. So there are several ways to make this word larger. You can either grab the corner and stretch it out to the size you want, or you can come up here to the font size box, click in there and choose one of these numbers, or you can use the plus and the minus. Right now I'm going to probably leave it at 88. I'm bringing it down slightly, and then I want to change the color. To do that, I come up here to the A. Currently it is set at that blue-black. I'm going to click in there, and then we have our default colors, but again I'm going to come up here to add a new color. Click on the eyedropper tool, and let's choose the red that's in the sweater here. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, so now I need the third word in our title, girls or sisters. I'm gonna try both and see which one I like better. So I can come over here and click on add a subheading again, but there's an easier way, and that is simply by clicking on the. And when you click on the, you're going to get a little toolbar right above it. The first one here says duplicate. So I'm going to click on that, and now it created a second box with the in it. Okay, so I'm going to click in there, and let's see what it looks like if I type girls. Okay, no, I'm not liking that. Let's type in sisters. Oh, okay, I really like the way that looks. Okay, so we've typed in sisters. This time, I'm going to change the alignment to alignment right. So you can see it is aligned with the right side of the box. So now I want to make this larger. Again, I can come over here to the font size, but I'm just going to stretch out the corner until it's the size I want. Let me move these girls down a second. I think I want it all the way maybe to the W. I'm liking, and it's already red, so I don't have to change that at all. I might bring this down slightly. Okay, so now I want to adjust the size of all of them, but they're each a separate box. So let me show you how you can join your title so it's inside one box. So let's click on the and hold down shift. Then while we're holding down shift, we're going to click on flower and keep holding shift, and then click on sisters. Okay, so now you can see all three text boxes are inside a white dotted line box. Above it, you'll see a new option called group. If you click on there, now we have all three text boxes inside one solid purple box. So now we can adjust the size. We can shrink it or stretch it, and we can move it around however we like. So as you can see, I've just made it slightly smaller than it was, and now I'm going to center it, and I'm going to bring it up right about there. Okay, and then I'm going to click off to the side. If ever you wanted to separate them, you just click on the box and you'll see it says ungroup, and you can ungroup them and move them independently again. Okay, so let me bring the girls back up and have them centered. Oh, before I forget, I wanted to share some exciting stuff happening over at bookcovers-diy.com. If you're a writer looking to spruce up your book's look, I've started offering ebook and paperback print cover design services. And if you've already designed your book cover, I've got this new critiquing service too, where I will personally analyze your book and give you expert feedback to take your cover to the next level. It's all about giving your story the best first impression it deserves. So swing by and check it out. Together, we can make your book stand out in the marketplace and on the shelves. This title is great. I'm loving the fonts, but it needs something, and that something is a flower. So let's come over here to Elements on our toolbar on the left, and where we had search for friends, this time we are going to search for a flower. I'm still under graphics. If for some reason you needed a photo, you can click here and go to photos. I'm going to stay in graphics, and I'm going to look for a flower, but I want to be able to change the petal colors, maybe something like this. That one looks pretty good. It even matches the colors. Here's another one here. Oh, and here's one here. So you can see we have 3 options. What I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to place one of these over the O and the title. So I'm going to grab the corner and shrink it down. See if it fits over the O. Okay, it's behind the O, and let me show you how to adjust that. So what you're going to do is when you have the flower clicked on, you're going to come up to position, and if you're under the arrange tab, you can just simply click on to front, and it's going to bring it to the front. See that? Let me undo that real fast so I can show you another option. Right here, it says undo. Okay, so now it's back behind the O. Here's another way to adjust your layers, and that's by coming over to the layers tab. Make sure you're still in position. And here shows us all of our layers. This is the top layer, which is the title. So behind that would be all the flowers. So in order to make them on top, we would have to drag this flower on top. And so now this is the top layer. We can also do that with all 3 flowers so that when we try them out, they are on top of the title. Okay, so let me click off to the side, move these 2 flowers. So now let's see how this flower looks. Okay, now we can also change the colors, as if you can see right here. Not every graphic has the ability to change colors. If it doesn't, you won't see any color boxes here. If it does have color boxes like this, then that means you can adjust those colors. For instance, if I click on the red, I can change that to blue or any other color in our palette, or one from our design like this. Okay, I'm not really liking this flower, so I'm going to delete it by clicking on the little trash can. Let's try this one. I'm going to make it smaller. Okay, this one I can also change the color because it has a color palette up here. So I would probably want this yellow to match the yellow in our design, which I believe is that one there. This could be the pink in our design. I'm not sure if that's the right pink. I can just take the eyedropper tool and put it over the pants. Actually, I want that one to be red. The darker red, I would again take the eyedropper tool and place it over the pink, anything pink. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm kind of liking that one. I'm going to put that one aside, and then let's try this other one here. Shrink it down again. Oh, you know what we can do? Let's click in the word flower and backspace over the O, delete the O, and then space maybe 3 times. So now we have this gap here, and then that's where our flower will fit. We might need to make it slightly smaller. So I'm going to drag it in. Okay, so now we have that O is not showing through, which is much better than what I was doing before. Okay, so the flower is actually going to replace the O. Okay, let's adjust the colors of this one as well. Let's make sure our yellow matches the background. Okay, so let's make this pink match the pink in the sweater, and this red use the eyedropper tool to match the red in the design. And then this darker red is actually just to match, is just for the lines in the flower. Let me zoom in so you can see. See the outlines in the flower? That's what this red is for. And you can actually, I think it's fine as is, or we can make it match the same lines. See, there's sort of these grayish lines on the pink sweater down here. And so now it actually matches. See how their outlines in their jeans and their sweaters, sort of a grayish color. I have just changed that to match that as well. So let's see how that looks. Okay, I think I like that flower the best. So I'm going to come up here to this flower, click on it, and click the trash can to delete it. And so you can see how, just simply replacing a letter with a flower or any other kind of design that complements your story or your book cover really enhances the book. Okay, I'm going to make this slightly larger a little bit. I kind of want it to stand out. Okay, so the Flower Sisters, we've got our girls here. Now we need to add our author name, which I'm going to add down here in this blank space. All right, so I'm just going to click on add a subheading, and we have our subheading here. I'm going to bring it down, and let's think of a name. Instead of Judy Blume, let's call our author Lucy Moon. Okay, so here is our author name, and of course, please do not leave it as is. You can see it just does not fit in with the rest. We don't want to choose a third font. I recommend sticking with 2 fonts. I mean, 3 at the most, but to be more cohesive, just stick with 2. So here we have one for Flower, and then we're using the same font for the and Sisters. So I'm going to use that same font for Lucy Moon, our fake Judy Blume author. Okay, so to do that, I click on the author name, come up to Canva Sans, and instead of searching for, let's say you don't remember what was the name of, because they all have these kind of crazy names. So let's say you don't remember the name of the font you used. You can click on one of these to see, and it should pop up. See, it popped up right here. This is what we use, this Gochi hand. Another thing you can do is click on your author name, scroll all the way up to the top, and you will see your document font. So Canva Sans has a check mark because that's what this one is that we have currently selected. We have also used Gochi Hand, which is in the and Sisters, and we've used Gulf's Display and Flower. So if you can't remember a name, just scroll all the way up, and Canva actually saves the names of the fonts you've chosen. So here it is, Gochi Hand. I'm going to click on there, and you can see it changed our author name. And I want it to be red, so I'm just going to come up here to our text color. It also saves our document colors. So here's the blue-black. I'm going to choose the red, which is the same red we have on the and Sisters. And then now I just want to make this larger, probably right about there, and make sure it is centered. We should have a solid line. And I'm going to bring the girls slightly down. Might make them slightly larger, actually. And I'm going to bring our, did you notice something? I didn't group the flower, so look, when I move the text box, the flower was left behind. But I can easily add the flower into that grouping by holding down Shift and clicking on the flower. Click on Group, and now look, all of them move together with the flower. Okay, so I've centered that. All right, so I'm really happy with the way this book cover design is looking, but I always like to show you how to easily switch it up so that you can make a second version, so that you can get your followers, your readers to vote on your final book cover. This is a great way to build up anticipation for your upcoming book release. And to do that, we are simply going to duplicate this entire cover and switch a few things up. Okay, to do that, you'll see down below it says add a page. If you click on add a page, it's only going to duplicate your background color. Everything is going to be blank. So we don't want to do that unless you want to start from scratch and with a whole different, design. So I'm going to delete that. So just right above the page 2, we're going to click on this trash can. All right, so now we're back to page 1. In order to duplicate this entire design, go right above it to this center icon with the 2 pages. It says duplicate page. If you click in there, we are going to get a page 2. It's a second page with everything on it. See, here's page 1, look at the top, and page 2. So you want to make sure that you are only making changes on page 2. We don't want to do anything to our original. We want to keep it as is. So come down to page 2, and I'm going to show you how you can just change a few things already on this. We're not going to add anything new. So first thing I want to do is I want to bring our title down. Remember, we have our title all grouped together. If you wanted to ungroup, you click on ungroup, but I'm going to leave it all as one. I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to bring the girls up here. I'm going to move the author name aside for right now. Okay, so I'm bringing my title down here, and I might make it slightly larger right about there. Okay, so this time I want to make the girls smaller. I'm going to move this title up here for a second, and maybe bring them right here. And then now our author name, let's see, we can either put on this side or we can put it on this side. Let me see which way I like it. There's kind of a big void right here, so I think I want to bring this author name actually to this side just to kind of help fill in the void, because it looks like we have a lot of things going on the right here. We have sisters here, and then we have the girls here. Let me see. I might bring our author name slightly down and bring this slightly down. Let's see how the 2 book covers look side by side. To do that, we're going to come down here to this little icon with the 4 boxes. It says grid view. If you click on there, you're going to be able to see your 2 designs side by side. And this also gives you a preview of how they will look as a thumbnail image, because of course, whether it's on Amazon or Marketplace, you're going to have smaller images. So this is a good way to make sure you're going to be able to read the title just at a glance and the author name, as you can here. So let me go back. I'm going to click on close grid view. And now I'm going to show you how we can download these 2 book cover designs and compare them side by side. First, let's come up here and name our project where it says add a heading. Click in there, and I'm going to call this the Flower Sisters Book Cover Designs. All right, and then I just click off to the side, and now I'm going to click on share and come down to download. PDF standard is if you are using print. That is the default or suggested. Since I'm just going to be showing you these designs, I'm going to click on PNG. I want to download both pages, all pages. If you didn't want to, you can come in here and uncheck the ones you don't want. I'm going to leave it as is and click on download. It's only going to take a few seconds. As you can see, it's already done and over with. Since there were 2 designs, it's going to open as a zip file. So I will just click on the zip, and then here we have our 2 designs. I'm going to click on the first one and the second one. All right, so here we have our 2 finished book cover designs, the Flower Sisters. So you can see how quick and easily we design not 1, but 2 different book covers. Here we have the girls centered, as well as the author name, Lucy Moon, and our title. Then on the second version, we have the title at the bottom. We have the girls slightly smaller and over to the right. And then we have our author name at the top left. So you can see with just a few changes, we were able to come up with this second version. Again, this is a great way to get your readers, followers involved in voting for your final book cover. I actually have a video tutorial showing you how you can go into Canva, upload these photos, and create a voting graphic that you can share on your social media sites to get your followers to vote on the final book cover. So be sure and check out that video. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you did, please let me know in the comments section below, and feel free to suggest some other book cover styles you'd like to see me create. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to update you about future videos. So thanks again for watching, liking, and subscribing. Until next time, bye-bye.